Hi guys, how are we? Welcome to my YouTube channel Live a Little, Love a Lot. My name is Aditi Gupta and I'm here to bring to you the story for the month of July. And the title of the story is called The Tea Stall Under the Tree. Now don't forget to grab yourself a cup of tea before you read the story about tea. I'm going to start reading. Stay tuned. Every city has one. Actually, more than one. One can always find that imperfect small tea stall that isn't famous enough to be on Google Maps. There would be no signboard, no fancy menu, just a large, deep dish, dented chai ka patila, set to boil water before sunrise, along with a man who knows exactly how everyone likes their tea. For many, it's just another tea stall. But for few, it's part of their lives, their daily lives. Many months ago, Mishra ji opened his first tea stall. It was nothing more than shabby pieces of wood put together to create a counter, where he placed a stove, a patila, and few jars of biscuits. He hung a wooden handwritten board that simply read tea for 10 rupees. There was no roof, no chairs, no tables, and certainly no shelves lined up with nice goodies to eat. The stall was located in the heart of Gurgaon, under the tree by the footpath. Every morning before the city woke, Mishra ji was already at his tea stall, ready for another day. The milk simmered gently. Fresh ginger was crushed on, the stone pestle. Cardamom pods were cracked open beneath his fingers. Soon the familiar fragrance of freshly brewed tea floated through the air, announcing that another day had begun. The first customer arrived without needing to be called. An auto driver was on his first trip of the day. A school teacher carrying a cloth bag full of notebooks. A young software engineer who always looked half sleepy. A courier boy checking addresses on his phone. An elderly gentleman who spent more time reading yesterday's newspaper than drinking his tea. None of them knew each other's names. They simply stood beneath the tree holding hot glasses of tea, dipping biscuits into them until they almost broke apart, exchanging an occasional nod before disappearing into the rush of the day. And every evening, after the last customer had left, Mishra ji counted the day's earnings. He folded a larger portion of money into an envelope addressed to his wife and 2 children back in his village, after he had counted enough out for his rent, his groceries, tomorrow's milk, and another day's of hope. Mishra ji never complained. Neither did he ever worry. He simply did what he knew how to do. He simply came back before sunrise and put water on to boil. Now on Monday morning, a regular customer ordered his tea and smiled apologetically. He was like, "Bhaiya ji, मैंने ना आज नाश्ता नहीं किया. I was hoping maybe you might have something to eat, Mishra ji laughed. He's like, "I only know how to make tea. मेरे को तो बस चाय बनानी आती है." You should keep a few snacks, the man suggested. They all will get sold. Now, Mishra ji pondered about this thought the entire day. And the next morning, beside the biscuit jar sat a very small tray of vegetable puffs and samosas. They were not his, neither were they prepared by him or anything like that. A friend who owned a bakery had agreed to leave a few every morning, and Mishra ji would pay him only for whatever was sold. So by 10 o'clock, every single one of that savory item was gone. A week later, he added sandwiches, then bread pakoras. Soon, people began not stopping only for tea, but for breakfast too. A few months later, during the first spell of monsoon, Mishra ji built a cover over the tea stall. A young woman carefully balanced her teacup while trying to keep her handbag dry. And then she said, it would be really nice if there was somewhere to sit. Mishra ji looked around. He's like, Madam ji, I've thought about it. But I'm not sure if permanent sitting is allowed over here. Maybe folding chairs, or those small cane chairs those Mudas might do. So why don't you get them? Mishra ji hesitated before answering. He says, one day, एक दिन, जब थोड़ा और कमा लूंगा, when the shop will earn more money. The woman nodded and she didn't ask any further questions. So the following Monday, Mishra ji, as usual, arrived before dawn. He unlocked his tiny counter and froze. There were 5 small cane stools arranged neatly beneath the tree. He looked left, he looked right, and there wasn't a soul in sight. For the next hour, he kept wondering who had left them there. Now, when the familiar faces, began arriving, the same man who had once asked for breakfast simply shrugged. And he said, we all chipped in. Mishra ji stared at him. He's like, you didn't have to do this. But before the man could answer, the young woman smiled. She said, it's not for your tea stall, it's for us. She looked around at everyone gathering underneath the tree. This is where our mornings begin. And for the first time since opening the stall, Mishra ji found himself unable to speak. The stools were rarely empty after that. People lingered a little longer. Someone brought fresh newspapers every morning. Someone else left a tip jar hoping Mishra ji would make a few extra bucks. On winters, strangers shifted their stools closer together to make room for newcomers. Small conversations replaced silence. People began talking about everything and anything. The India-Pakistan match, the miserable traffic, school admissions, rising prices, politics, kids, their parents growing old. And without anyone noticing, the little tea stall beneath the tree had become something much bigger, and months turned into years. The faces hardly changed, and many new appeared. Then, one Monday morning, the shutters remained closed. At first, everyone assumed he was running late. By Tuesday, people began waiting. By Wednesday, they started asking questions. Do you know where Mishra ji lives? A delivery boy asked. I thought you knew, another man replied. I only see him here, a woman chirped. So do I, another man admitted. So the auto guy knew someone who knew the landlord at the place where Mishra ji had rented a room. The landlord knew which hospital Mishra ji had been taken to after suddenly falling ill. Later that evening, people who had spent years standing beside one another without knowing names of themselves were sitting in a hospital corridor. Someone brought fruit. Someone paid for the medicines. Someone quietly settled part of the bill, the hospital bill, before anyone else could ask. No one had discussed how much they gave or how much they paid. You know why? Because it did not matter. Now, a week later, before sunrise, the familiar fragrance of freshly brewed tea returned. One by one, people began arriving. The auto driver smiled first, then the teacher, then the software engineer, then the courier boy. Even the elderly man who folded his newspaper grinned. Mishra ji looked at the crowd gathering underneath the tree. Only now they weren't strangers silently standing with teacups. They were discussing weekend plans, cracking jokes, asking about each other's families. Everyone had learned each other's names. Mishra ji poured the first cup of tea. Less sugar, extra ginger, just how you like it. The woman smiled gratefully and took the cup of tea. Mishra ji smiled. For years, he had remembered how everyone liked their tea. And somewhere along the way, everyone had remembered him too. And that's the end of the story. This is the month for July. I hope you like it. You know, this story, when I edited it, it brought tears to my aunt's heart. And if it did the same for you, did it move you a bit? Do share it with your friends, your families, your loved ones. Why? Because love needs to be shared. Stay tuned for the next one. Take care.